building beautiful in your time. Building, you're building beautiful in me. Hello, hello, friends, and welcome to this edition of Mindful Matters. All right, so we are going to be doing this whole series about just mindfulness. Awareness, being aware of what we are doing, what is occupying our mind, what is occupying our time, and how to make better choices. We're all about building beautiful here, right? So if you want to build your most beautiful, balanced life, here are some tips and some suggestions. So in the mindfulness series, I'm going to give you several suggestions, and we're going to talk a little bit about that topic. And then the challenge is for you to go and apply it in your life. Come back and let me know how it goes. Okay, deal. Okay, so the first one comes from this card: unplug and unplug by taking a social media detox. All right, so you want to take a break from social media. There's been a lot of studies about this. There's been a lot of talk about this over the years. Even 24 hours off social media, will make an impact. A lot of people say that they need 48 to 72 hours to really start to see that benefit. But my challenge to you is to try one day. And that stresses some people out. They're like, I can't be off social media for an entire day. But I think you can. So, and I'm giving you permission. So some of you have been like, yes, finally, I have an excuse to get off social media. Carrie is challenging me to stay off social media for 24 hours. Let people know if that makes you anxious, to say, hey guys, I'm taking a 24-hour social media detox. So I'll catch you tomorrow, or whatever day. You can let people know. You can even invite people to do it with you. It's so much more fun when you're doing it with a friend. And we're going to talk a little bit about what to do with the time that you now suddenly have because you haven't spent hours. Literally, if you track it, it's hours for most people. There's nothing wrong with you if that is you, hours, right? But let's talk about what else you can do with your time. Okay. So, why do we want to do this? Because we are finding that personally, our lives, you can do your own self evaluation check on this, but our lives and our world in general is becoming more and more unbalanced. And how can you find balance when you're constantly have this input from family and friends and celebrities and brands and people trying to sell you stuff and all of this, even this group, which I'm really glad that you're here watching. But even here, this community that we have building, there's just constant input, right? And a lot of that input is negative or makes you feel less than in one way or another. Right. Maybe it is that guy that always pops up on my feed that says, stop going to the gym and exercising, or I'm going to throw myself in this, lake or whatever. And he talks about, the latest, greatest, best way to lose weight for a midlife woman, which I'm sure is why it's in my feed, because hello, midlife woman in the room. Right. And so just, he's always in there, but then it just makes me feel bad about going to the gym and using the equipment. So it's like, what good is that doing if it's like counterproductive, right? So that is one of the things. So that constant input, everybody telling you how to feel, what to think, all the political things, all the, well, we're just going to say political things. We're just going to leave it out there. Everything happening in our world. So, and it's just bombarding you and just taking over your ability to just breathe, relax, like look at the beautiful day and appreciate it for what it is, until you suddenly open your phone and see, what someone is going through or what somebody is posting about or what's happening in the world. And then you're like, well, it was a beautiful day. Now it's not. I'm blanket statementing. Yeah. I do realize that, but it is worth noting, right? So, okay. There was a study done in 2021 where 79 to 83% of people that were surveyed reported more anxiety and depression and an inability to sleep and loneliness. Like, social media is supposed to be this thing that connects us and makes us not so lonely, but in effect it actually has done the opposite in most people. The majority, 79 to 83%, saying they're lonelier living their life on social media instead of actually getting out there and interacting with people. So that is my challenge for you: 24-hour social media challenge in order to complete this mindful You can see that. This mindful matter challenge of this week. Okay. So the benefit, less anxiety, better sleep, better mood, more time for deeper relationships in your life. Who doesn't want that? Right. Some alternatives. What can you do to fill that time you're suddenly now going to have? Call or schedule a coffee date with a friend that you haven't connected with recently, or someone that you've only connected with on social media, but you can't remember the last time you had a one on one conversation with them face to face, right? So schedule that time. And if it's a phone call, try to make it a Zoom or something where you can actually, or FaceTime where you can see each other. That's a beautiful thing. Number two, bake something for a neighbor or a friend or someone at church. When is the last time? I think that used to be a practice all the time. Oh, new person in the neighborhood. Bake them some bread, make them some cookies, welcome them, right? Spend time doing something small like that for a neighbor. Knock on the door. Hi, if you don't know me, I'm your neighbor. Or hey, I was thinking about you today. I just wanted to bake you something just to say that I'm glad that we're neighbors. And chances are you'll get an invite in and a conversation and a cup of tea. It'll be great. But if not, that's totally fine too. At least you are doing something with that time that you are then blessing somebody else with. So you maybe it's baking, maybe it's something else completely different, but making a choice to do something like that. Number two, number three, when's the last time you picked up a book, a hard book, like an actual book, and read something? I know some of you are avid readers, and I really applaud that. And I know that was something that I did this past summer, started reading again, and it's made all the difference in the world. The last one, number four, take a class or learn a new skill. So I'm actually on the hunt myself, which is why I put this in here. I want to learn a new skill and take a class. It's going to get out. I'm going to get out there and get social. I'm going to meet new people. I'm going to learn a new skill. And I can't be more excited about it. My problem is I have so many interests. I want to take them all. So I think, I may do this is a way that I want to apply this challenge to myself. I never ask you to do anything I'm not doing myself. So just keep that in mind, right? So the way that I would like to apply this is find my class first, decide like if it's a Monday night class every Monday, that every Monday is going to be a social media detox day for me. Okay, so I can have like a whole thing. I've detoxed from social media and it has given me time to do these other things, including take this class. Okay. And so that's a beautiful thing. So, number one, if you, this is the last 3 points I'm going to make. Number one, if you do this 24-hour cold turkey social media detox, evaluate at the end of it, how did you feel during that 24 hours? What was your anxiety level scale, 1 to 10 or 1 to 5, right? One being, it was terrible. It was torture. It was really hard. I went through withdrawal. I understand my children now, right? 10 being, I loved it. I loved giving myself the permission to disconnect from others, right? From social media, right? Not from others, but from social media. I loved it. So somewhere where give yourself a rating and a scale so that you can understand what this is doing for you. Okay. And did it stress you out or not? Now, if you loved it and you were a 10 or an 8 or a 9, do it regularly. Make it a habit. Okay. Do it for longer periods of time, perhaps. This is awesome. If you were like a 1, 2, or 3, and this was like, oh, anxiety right, for you, you were like, it was all I could do when I was standing in a line, not to whip out my phone and check Facebook, right? If this was super stressful for you, then you wanna dial it back and you wanna give yourself permission to do half a day, or from the hours of this to this, no social media interaction whatsoever, right? Between the hours of this and this, make it a couple times a day, make it once a day. It's a chunk of time. Okay. Or perhaps it's every night at, after dinner, we put the phones down, no phones after dinner, no social media after dinner. And then you just go right into being able to, engage with your family, watch something, and then, go to bed, spend time prayer, whatever that is. Okay. You are going to do what works for you to build your most beautiful in this. This is the goal. Okay. We're almost at time. So number 3, make it fun and bring some friends to your party. Do it as a challenge for like maybe it's all month. You do it with a couple of friends, and then you have a plan at the end of that month to get together to talk about it, whether it's out on a walk on nature or getting together at a coffee shop or whatever, and just talk about the experience, right? You might create a small Facebook, messenger thread or, whatever that looks like for you, and just be communicating with each other along the way. But it's always more fun with friends. Okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I would love to hear your results. So either post them in the comments here or just email me, info@carrieford.com. I would love to hear your results. And if you're doing that challenge, and if you do take the challenge, I'd love to interview you if you're interested. So, all right. Thanks for watching. Let's go build our beautiful together, friends.